What's going on there, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Earthmaster here on this July 6th, 2023 date, Thursday. It is about 11:09 a.m. here along the west coast in California. Latest activity shows some movement over here around the Indonesia Islands area, Banda Sea region. 5.3 coming in here somewhat deep into subduction zone trench area, 124 kilometers deep. Looking at the rest of the map here, got a little bit of activity across the Pahala area. No changes, though, across that region as far as volcanic status goes. The west coast, looking at, let's go ahead and pull up the 2.5 map and above, see what we have. Nothing too major overnight. Looks like a 3.0 from yesterday, the largest here on the map. We did see another 2.5 down into the Texas area, outside of Pecos, Texas. As far as microquake activity goes, still seeing a little bit of movement down here into the Salton Sea area and just south of El Centro. Let's see if any of this was from today. It looks like we had a handful of smaller quakes there, but these two at least a little bit closer up here along the Brawley seismic zone. Now, these areas did see some swarming here earlier this year, a couple distinct swarming areas. Looks like those regions are starting to get hit again, but for now, very small, and the multitude of quakes there, very small as well, but we'll continue to watch that maybe for some further uptick. Around Yellowstone, well, a couple smaller earthquakes there across the region. Let's go ahead and check out the Yellowstone overview. I'm going to pull this up here and see what we have. Excuse me. Let's see. Not a lot going on. This here is an error, obviously, some type of technical error in the system. They're around Soda Butte. There's some earthquake activity, it looks like. Let's see here. That's from yesterday, I believe. But that's a distant earthquake. As far as local seismic activity goes, there was only a handful, only a handful listed on the USGS map, and I'm really not even seeing too much here across the area. These little readings here on the map could be wind. No telling what they could be. It doesn't look like earthquake activity, and it's mostly confined here to the Purple Mountain, Madison River area. But seismic activity there is somewhat minimal, very minimal, I should say, across the area of Yellowstone. Rest of the country out here, Texas, Oklahoma. See, we got one earthquake down here south of San Antonio. I know what's out here. Quite a bit of oil fields. 2.1 coming in earlier this morning, it looks like, in the beautiful state of Texas. I was out here last week. This earthquake occurring right next to a couple of these oil pumping fields. There's a field like literally within feet of this earthquake. All right, backing out of here. Hopefully stuff is going to update here. Not for sure what's going on. There we go. A little earthquake here across the Appalachian Mountains here in north of, it looks like it's south here of Hillsville, Virginia. A little 2.7, very shallow earthquake. Right around the Blue Ridge Mountains. Beautiful area. One of these days I'll get out there. I really haven't had a chance to explore this area of the country. I'm looking forward to it, though. Iceland. Iceland's been having a little bit of earthquake activity up here. Most of this here shows from from yesterday. But a look at the EMSC model here. This is the last 24 hours of data. So that's going to show a little bit more than what USGS is reporting, because they are also showing some of the smaller quakes. It looks like we have tapered off slightly within the last hour. Only seen a looks like a 3.2 and a 2.9. There's definitely an ongoing swarm, and I've noticed here that the Iceland volcanoes have updated a alert level for one of the volcanoes here, and I'm not going to pronounce this one because I have a tough time with this one, but this volcano got upgraded to an orange aviation color code. Of course, activity level has been high historically, with the last eruption there just last year. So just kind of watching this. It is, looks like it is part of a, let's see if these guys have anything. I think this earthquake activity is a little bit bigger picture of what's going on underneath the ground. But they have been having some pretty good swarms. Obviously, magma rising to the surface and eruptive activity in the past couple years. So we'll kind of continue to watch that. There's definitely been quite a bit of earthquake activity around this region. Listed up here, you can see so far today, these guys are showing about 5 earthquakes. Yesterday, looks like a little bit more. Here's the depth of these magnitudes. Most of it is down there right around where the magma movement would take place, between about 0 and 7 kilometers deep. As you can see listed up here, that swarm has definitely kicked up. Oh, since about, the late on the day on the 4th, it looks like. Definitely going to watch this. Probably going to kick back up in the eruptive stage if it hasn't already. All right, moving on. So we'll definitely continue to watch that. Moving on south into the Atlantic. One earthquake there from yesterday. Let's see if we got anything else going on here across South America for today. 4.7 today it looks like. 140 kilometers deep into the Peru-Chile Trench. 4.7. Let's see here, Puerto Rico area. I know we're kind of hop, skip, and jumping around. 14 earthquakes. Looks like the largest is going to be that 3.2 from yesterday. As far as today goes, a handful, I would say, in the 2 range around the swarming area of Puerto Rico. Looks like it's back to the typical activity that we see there. Out into the Indian Ocean, this earthquake here from yesterday, nothing new yet today. Further down south, though, look at this, south and to the east, south of New Zealand. We did see some movement near the Balleny Islands area, 5.9. 3 o'clock this morning, right there on the divergent boundary. That still puts kind of New Zealand in the firing range. It looks like they did see a 4.2 just after midnight prior to this 5.9. So we're getting a little bit of a adjustment going on here across the New Zealand area. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick, see what we have for New Zealand. There is that 4.6. Now, USGS reporting that as a 4.2. GeoNet 4.6. Let's see what we got here. Looks like quite a few folks did report feeling that earthquake here. About 1,000, over 1,000. Mostly weak and light shaking. Not for sure about the extreme event there. We got 2 people reporting that. Far as the earthquake drums, let's see if we can find that. I'm sure we can. Obviously, it should be pretty easy to spot down here around South Island. As you can see, very prominent signature. Whether it's a 4.2 or 4.6, we'll let the officials decide. Either way, there was definitely an earthquake, and it was felt by a few folks out there, and centered right around the South Island area. It looks like that is specifically right on the Alpine Fault, the plate boundary here. That sits, let me bring up the USGS map here. Oh, actually, it's just off of it here. According to the USGS, this would be a deeper movement quake. The plate boundary, of course, is going to be right here in the red line. This is much further inland. I'm sure there's lots of plates or lots of faults. But this is somewhat deep. That would be somewhat associated here with the Hikurangi subduction zone, I believe. Maybe not. It kind of ends right here. At least I thought it did. Maybe extends a little bit further. But either way, a deeper earthquake. And it's still a sign that I believe firmly that this will show some further movement here soon as far as larger scale activity goes. It's been all too quiet across the New Zealand area. But we'll continue to watch that. Up north into the Vanuatu area, earthquake from yesterday. Japan, Western Pacific, not a whole lot going on. A little bit of activity across the Manila region, or Philippines area, northwest of Manila, 4.9 just after midnight. Still haven't got the EMSC model data up on the globe. Been looking into it, but every time I upgrade or at least update the feeds here, it shows that they're updated, but they will not come up. As far as the see, and this won't work. Excuse me. Trying to get used to that California air again. It was a fun time out in Texas. As soon as I get back to California, I don't know, I just start choking out here. Goodness, something in the air. Alrighty, let's see. Let's bring this. I'll deal with that here in a little bit. But looking at the rest of the map, let's see, Alaska area. We're way up there into Canada. Alaska. Yeah, not seeing too much activity today. Let's go ahead and pull up the 2.5 map. There's only a handful of earthquakes, including one way up north of the Brooks Range area, 3.3. 2.6 there, Denali. Looks like 133 kilometers deep. All right, let's see if I missed anything out here, and then I need to go, I don't know, clear out my lungs here. All right, we're going to go check out the space weather activity, see what's going on here across the region of the sun. We no longer have a visual on sunspot 3354. It is way out there on the, well, out of sight on the western limb. As far as the UV filter ray goes, we can still see some of the magnetic structure. At least the magnetic lines here, the arches, way out there from that active sunspot region. So we're left with a handful of visible sunspots. And, well, today looks about the same as yesterday. We're seeing a little bit of development down here in the southern sunspot, this area right here, showing some growth. We'll continue to watch this whole region for some flaring. Also up here to the north here, showing a couple different sunspot areas that do pose a little bit of a threat, but I think the main one right now is going to be down here. And also we got a fairly ginormous sunspot region on the southeastern limb. Can just barely see it on last night's update image, but today you can see you can see it. It's a little complex, so we'll continue to watch that. See what that looks like on the UV filter. Pretty bright. I wouldn't doubt if that thing starts flaring very quickly. Let's see here. Aside from that, that's probably about the only ones we need to watch. We'll definitely continue to watch this one, though. Kind of curious to see how that evolves throughout the day. Right now, 99% chance for a C flare, M flare at 30, X flare around 5% chance. No major coronal holes, no major CMEs have been produced. Therefore, the space weather activity is fairly calm. Not a whole lot of greenery up in the sky. As far as weather outlook goes today, current day 1 threat shows a little enhanced area of tornado potential across eastern Colorado. Main threat today looks like some damaging hail and some wind gusts, but keep that 5% chance of tornado probability in mind. Also, that does extend into portions of Wyoming down into Oklahoma as well for a 2% possibility of tornadoes. Next couple days look very minimal, but still a little threat out there of severe weather in the regions listed on the map. All right, folks, I'm going to jump off here. Have a great day. It is Thursday. I still don't feel like I caught up on my sleep. You know, traveling a lot and jumping on airplanes, it does take a little bit of days to get rid of that jet lag feeling that I don't know, it's just a weird feeling. I normally don't feel back to normal until maybe about a week after coming back home, so hopefully it doesn't take that long. For now, I'm going to try to get everything together here and get my day going. Have a good one. We'll catch you guys back here later tonight. Take care.